I got a new microphone. I don't know if you can tell, but I am now going to admit that I did use a webcam microphone before.
ZYX Timer, the podcast that we have complained about mightily before, now starts properly, so it's a little less worse.
Little less worse. It's like my friend who always describes things as like, how does he describe them? Oh yeah, moderately fine. It's like fine, but it's moderate.
I'm not gonna name anyone. He'll know who he is once he listens to this episode. I'll tell him to listen to it.
Is this a friend from school?
Yeah, it's a friend from school. He always says, it's much more better.
Are you guys grammar Nazis? Are you guys those people?
Absolutely. Who isn't? Just a little bit inside. Everybody's got one. It's that urge.
But do you, like, vocalize it? If somebody says, like, me and him instead of him and I.
Oh, no, I don't mind that.
No, I've actually, that's my worst mistake. But, yeah, I can't correct people on that because I make that mistake, like, 24/7, so...
Okay, ZYX Timer starts properly. If you aren't aware of what, how the functionality worked previously on ZYX Timer, what would happen is you would put your finger on the screen to start inspection. Then once you are done with inspection, your finger would be placed on the screen again, and the timer would start instantly. And we complained about this mightily in a lot of previous episodes. But that is now fixed. You can now hold it down for whatever time period you see fit, and then the timer will start, which makes ZYX Timer a little better.
I know the struggle because I've used the timer app on Apple devices with the stopwatch. Like as soon as you press your finger down, it just starts instantly. And
Yes.
I've had to use that a few times when I'm in a car trip, and I have to use my mum's phone because my phone's out of battery.
Well, at least you haven't had to use a manual stopwatch. I still have one of them. You know, like the ones where you click down the thing and the little clockwork just goes around. Good times.
I have respect for you, Reese.
It's not hard. To be honest, it's probably simpler than 99% of the stopwatches today. You just press the button, it starts, you press it again, it stops,
Yeah.
you press it again, it resets.
Alright, anyway.
It's the epitome of simplicity. Anyway, let's talk about StackMat and why they are continuing to follow in the trend of ugly
not
timers.
StackMat Gen 4 has come out. Or has been announced.
Can you order one? The link here I've got is to Champion Cube Store, which seems to have it available for order. So do you think this time is ugly? Like, initial impressions of just its visual appeal.
Absolutely. Nobody wants to have that on their desk.
I can see what they've tried to do. So, the place where you put your hands down to start the timer, they're sort of angled away to you. And I guess I can see how that would make it more comfortable. And also the screen is tilted up towards your face so you can see it easier. I can see how they're trying to do that to make it more convenient to use. But yeah, it really doesn't look that good.
What I'm interested in is the battery life, because that's the problem on my StackMat, is it kind of like ran out of battery and now it doesn't work. And as well, obviously, for all cubers, we're wondering how the timer resets are, because we know that's a big issue.
I guess, yeah, you've kind of gone over the main differences in design between the Gen 3, which is the one that most people are familiar with, and the Gen 4. Also notable is that the power and the reset buttons are divided by the screen, so the design's a lot more symmetrical. You have the Speed Stacks logo smack bang in the middle, and then above that you have a curved display, which is kind of interesting. Not curved as in, like, if you see a curved TV where it's curved 3D, as if you had a croissant-shaped TV. Hey, croissant. That sort of curve. And then on either side of that, you have the reset button on the right, power button on the left, and then you have those other useless buttons that no one needs on above those power and reset buttons. Then on either side of that, not at a, like, straight 90-degree angle, but curved away.
Yeah, which is stupid. Because it's not like when you're doing math in your math book, you don't write the numbers in a crescent shape. You just don't do that.
That has nothing to do with that.
Yeah, that's not a very good analogy. Like,
Well,
I guess they were trying to do it for ergonomics. They do curve them away on the Gen 3 stack mat's the one that most people are familiar with. Like, the hand pads are curved downwards. Which is... Like, have you guys seen split design ergonomic keyboards?
Yeah.
Yes, I have seen them.
Those sort of things. I'm sure most of the listeners are aware of these sort of keyboards. So right down the middle, they'll have a split. All of the keys will be sort of curved inwards, like the stack mat is, I guess, to provide a more ergonomic position with which to type, because people spend a lot of time typing. Some people, it's their job. So if you get RSI or hand cramps typing, this kind of keyboard is something that you should look into, because it can prevent such things. But how crucial is ergonomics in... Like, is ergonomics a problem that needs to be solved with stack mats, or have they just fixed no problem and created something ugly? Okay, what else is new, Reese? Introduce us to these new cubes.
Okay, I'll be glad to. New Yushin cubes, but more importantly, new Yushin boxes, which not only have the new Yushin cubes on them, but also Colin looking fab as always. These new cubes both come in stickless and normal colors, it looks like. They also come in different size options, including a 3.5 centimeter cube, which is interesting, and 2 keychain options. There is also here a photo of a 4x4, which I am not too sure about. Maybe it's coming out, maybe it isn't. But yeah, pillow 3x3 from Yushin. What are you guys' input on this?
Pillow cubes have been done before, like with... What was it? The Felix pillow?
Cubes. Felix pillow. No, all of these cubes are like bad, so if Yushin wants to follow in that pattern, then that should be interesting.
I think the Felix pillow was like a cool gimmick, but I mean, I wouldn't use it as a speed cube, obviously.
It was a cool gimmick by Methods with what was it, matte finish stickers which feel like toilet paper, and a signature by Felix, who he probably spent like 0.3 seconds on, and was photocopied in a million cubes around the world. So yes, very worthwhile gimmick.
Sounds like someone doesn't like the Felix pillow.
Why would I like it? I mean, it's terrible. It pops every like 2 seconds.
Do you have one?
No. Literally every cuber has tried one at some point in their life.
I guess, would you buy a pillow cube, though? They're not allowed in competitions, are they?
Yeah, so why would you buy one?
Well, for someone as competition-oriented as yourself, Reese, you may not buy one.
Yeah,
but for a puzzle collector or someone who's just doing this for fun, for someone of whom WCA competitions, they do not care about WCA competitions, this could be something they prefer. They might prefer pillowed cubes, which is fine, to each their own.
I feel like you would only need one ever pillowed cube, unless there's some amazing pillowed cube. But like, yeah, I reckon you don't really need as many pillowed cubes as you do like regular square 3x3s.
Also, I just want to bring up the point that this cube looks really ugly for some reason, because under the center cap you can see like the rim of the actual centerpiece. That just looks really bad, and the Florian holes don't look good either. They're like really big and really obvious. I don't know.
But at least it does look like a speed cube.
Yeah.
Except for
But then
bulge.
again, the Felix pillow looks like a speed cube, didn't it? Kind of, no. Oh well. It was marketed as one.
Having Felix's name on that cube was like the most genius business decision Methods have made.
On Methods' part, because it took Felix like 0.3 seconds, and it owes like $1 billion gazillion dollars.
Who would have bought that if it was like Yui Methods pillow?
Yui Methods pillowed.
So moving on from the pillow cube, there's also a keychain cube, which is kind of ridiculous and gimmicky, and a 3.5mm cube, which
What is it
also
with these
kind of...
companies and gimmicks? What did you quote? It has more gimmicks than a Happy Meal truck crashed into the Lucky Charms factory. That's one of my favorites.
You quote my videos. You know my videos more than I know my videos.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like these things here, there's a keychain cube, there's a small cube, and there's a pillowed cube. Like, these aren't speed cubes. Yuxin is making cubes that aren't speed cubes. Is that okay? Yeah, it's fine.
No.
If people want... Jeez, okay. If people want them, they can buy them. If people don't want them, they just not buy them.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Although it makes sense from Yuxin's perspective to make these kind of things because they're like.
They
kind of new
should
and
make
exciting.
6x6s instead, because nobody has made a 6x6 in forever. Makes me sad.
When did the Aoshi come out?
Like, I don't know, like mid last year. And since
Yeah.
then, there's just been too many 5x5s. My god, how many 5x5s has there been? There's been the Hua Chuang, there's been the Yushin, there's been the Bo Chuang, there's been the Cyclone Boys, there's been everything. It's just no. And no 6x enrages me.
Speaking of new cubes, there is a new 2x2. It is called the Guanpo. Would you like to give us a summary, Bryce? Like a teacher in class. Like, can you answer the question, Bryce?
Yeah, alright.
You
Now,
frantically
It's
try
like
to
the
open your
substitute
books.
teacher who takes your math class and knows nothing about math. She's like, hey teacher, how do I do for this problem? You don't. Just skip that one.
Yeah, so the YJ Guampo is meant to be an entry level 2x2. So it's meant to be like a inexpensive 2x2. If you're a new cuber looking to get started, you apparently should get this cube.
Because all new cubers are poor,
Yeah.
right? They can't afford a proper
Yeah.
cube.
But yeah, it just looks alright. It doesn't look like anything special to me. Just get a die-in, seriously.
Yeah,
honestly,
exactly.
But the Guansu was pretty good, so this might be good. But besides that, this Guanpo also uses the marketing scheme of weird names to describe it.
Exquisite seamless appearance.
That's my favorite one. Exquisite seamless appearance. Exquisite.
Oh yeah, I remember
this is my no. I take it back. This is my favorite. Big holes design.
Yep.
Corners coordinated with big holes. Coordinated, really? Avoid bumps and provides nice corner cuttings. Notice the
You're
plural.
right there, Brad.
Hashtag grammar Nazi. Simple combination makes Guanpo seamless outside and gives users a better touching. Better touching.
Wow. That was intense.
Okay, unified edges. Okay, edges inside are unified. TFTI. Which reduces unnecessary combinations. What? Avoids combining errors. Hollow design in big area avoids unstable and bumpy feeling.
Oh wow. Wait, what about the patent of 2x2?
Yeah, that one was
cube
good. That one they went all like Shakespearean on it and stuff.
Yeah,
One
it was
possesses more accurate inaccurate parameters that avoid bumpy feeling while turning. So we can gather that this cube won't have a bumpy feeling, or will it? I swear, if the first person who like unboxes this cube says that it's got a bumpy feeling, I'm just gonna laugh.
We need more of these from YJ. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We don't
These are
even care if you
incredible.
release new cubes. We just want you to like review old ones.
Guanpo
you, YJ.
popularity dash type 2x2. Popularity type 2x2. What does that mean?
It's like a Pokemon fire type.
Refreshes the definition of entry level cubes. Okay. I can see what they're trying to get at there. That one actually sort of makes sense. But still, just no.
I love how like one sentence was so well structured and it was so good. You just felt so good, and then the rest was absolute crap.
So, this cube is an entry-level cube. Entry-level cubes? Do we have an opinion? As you just said, Bryce. Like, why don't you just get a Diane? Is there that big a difference between a cube that is however many dollars this cube is, which we don't know yet? Like, is there... Let's say this cube's $3, just an estimate. If the Guanpo's $3 and the Diane's 15, say, in reality, that's $12.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
It is a lot more percentage-wise, but like, we're talking about really small numbers
Well,
here.
that's just natural human brain multiplicative thinking.
Think about this, right? If you're gonna buy a 2x2 and it's like partially a speed 2x2, you probably at some point or another gonna get into 2x2 as an event. And when you do that, you're gonna need to buy a Diane. And then you're gonna be like, well, damn, why didn't I buy a Diane instead of this little thing? And then you're gonna be like, oh, that's gonna be a very depressing day.
Even if you really can't afford a Diane, which I don't think many people would have problems with that. Like, there's always the Lingpo or whatever, the other Moyu 2x2 cubes that no one knows about.
Some people, such as JR Cuba, say that, like, 2x2s like this are good because they teach new cubers to be accurate instead of relying on corner cutting. But why?
What's so bad about
how does that
relying on
make a
corner
difference? Yeah, exactly. Corner cutting is there for a reason. So that's like taking the cake but not eating it. It's bull honky. I don't like it.
Well, there is a certain argument to be made there. I don't know enough to have a full position in this case. But, like, the argument that's often put forward is you should use a cube that doesn't have good corner cutting, or doesn't turn very well, or is tight, and practice on that, so then you teach your turning to be accurate, because it needs to be accurate in order to turn properly. And then when you switch to a better cube, you will not use as much corner cutting, and I guess have more accurate turning.
Yeah, but even Kevin said in one of his videos, Kevin Hayes, I think he's a little bit faster than JR Cuber at most events, just a little bit faster. And he said, just practice on your main cube because it's silly not to. So, in my opinion, just listen to Kevin, he's pretty fast.
Well, I mean, if that's the cube you're going to be using, then why the hell not use it? Because, I mean, you're getting practice on the cube that you'll be using anyway.
Like, I'm gonna get a Guanpo in order to get a Diane. No.
I'm more talking about entry-level cubes here, like the price aspect.
Mm.
Which, like, if you're going to be spending $3 on a cube and then need to replace it with a cube that costs $10 a few months later, if you get into 2x2, then... And then, like, the reality is $12, that's not much of a difference.
So yeah, let's admit this cube's only for people who realize they have a cuber that they need to buy a birthday present for in, like, 1 hour, so, yeah.
Guanlongs all day.
And they don't have any money, so it's like, oh, there we go. Happy birthday, has this $3 cube.
Alright, let's talk about our first topic. So, Moyu is paying people to set records with their cubes. If someone gets a record using a Moyu cube, they get a reward in money. Just look here. So it says, announcement, reward for cubers who use Moyu culture and its co-brand products in 2016. We will provide a reward to cubers who break the world record in WCA competitions by using Moyu culture, Kong's design, or Grogon cubes, as detailed as below. So, if you get the 3x3 single or average, world record, you will get $6,000 US.
And then it goes progressively down to, I guess, less popular events. Second most popular being one-handed, apparently. And then 3 blind, 4, 2, 5, 6, 7, all the other crappy events.
All events are equal, bro. You must realize that.
That is so Aventus.
So obviously this is going to have quite a big impact on people who are fast. People who are in that zone of maybe getting a world record, maybe not, who knows. But if you're a top level 3x3 solver, and you know that if you set a world record with a 3x3 cube, you will get $6,000 US, which is a lot of money. Who's not going to use the Moyu cube? Like, if you're like, I have the Chi, I have the Moyu, I kind of prefer the Chi, but $6,000, I'll take it. Like...
Yeah, you're literally trading $6,000 for, like, 0.1 or 2 of your time, so...
Like, to be honest, like, all the cubes are so similar these days, I doubt it will make a difference at all if you use a different cube.
Yeah, but, like, the joke's on Moyu if the world record is broken the next day. It's like, yay, can I have $6,000? Yeah, sure. Oh, wait,
But the joke's not on Moyu, though. Like, Moyu's running away to the bank. Obviously... Like, Moyu's not stupid. They know that this is a good decision. If they can convince the world record holder to use a Moyu cube, and then not another cube, or like a Chi cube, or... If they can convince the world record holder to use that cube, then obviously they will get more than $6,000 of sale. Because if they didn't, why would they put this up? $6,000 of sale? How many cubes is that? Let's say The average Moyu cube's like $20, and if they make, say, I don't know, 50% profit on that.
20 13 by 13s. Imagine that. Having just 20 of them on your desk. That would probably kill
Yeah,
your
exactly.
desk.
Yeah, I would totally buy 13. I would totally buy 20 13 by 13s if the world record was broken with the Moyu cube.
Is this good for the cubing community as a whole? Like, if people are using Moyu cubes, even if another cube is better, is that good? What do you think, Chris? Is it good or bad for the cubing community as a whole?
As a whole, I don't see how it would do any harm to the cubing community. I mean, it would maybe elude people to choose a cube that isn't as good, but that's not really... It's not really your problem. I mean, really, you should look at all cubes, to be honest, and see which one is the best, but I don't think that's the real problem. So, in a way, it's kind of a win-win situation for the company and the person who wins it, so I don't see anything that's wrong with it, really.
But
But we're not just talking about the company and the people who wins it. We're talking about like other companies. How's Chi gonna fare if everyone's using a Moyu cube? How's everyone else gonna fare if they have a worse cube?
Yeah, well, obviously Chi might not make as much money, but I feel like even though, you know, world record right now is set with a Moyu cube, that's not stopping the Guan piece of crap to dominate the market. Apparently it's good. I don't like it. But yeah, so I don't think it really makes that much difference, because any experienced cuber knows that a cube's goodness is not subject to its brand. So,
well, that's in this sort of generation of cubing, I guess. Like once this generation sort of grows up and stops cubing, I guess, new cubers coming in will be looking to get a cube, and they'll probably see, oh, the world record holder uses this Moyu cube. I'll get that one because it's obviously good.
yeah, but
And
obviously
then
the world record cube won't be like that bad of a cube. Like obviously, Felix isn't gonna walk in and break a world record with a Rubik's cube, and then suddenly 500,000 people will be using a Rubik's cube. Obviously he's gonna be using a semi-decent cube, so it's probably not gonna matter that much.
Yeah, but I guess like if they start using a Moyu cube from the very beginning, they'll probably just stick with it, I guess, and then everyone will just have a Moyu cube, I guess. It will benefit Moyu greatly, I reckon. I reckon the sales in their cubes are going to go up a lot. And it's going to be rare to find like a cube from a different company that's actually really good, because Moyu's just going to be dominant.
Brad, what's your opinion?
When you said that there's not going to be much difference, like, people just won't use those cubes, there's going to be more than $6,000 worth of difference. This is like the base. There's probably going to be a lot more than that, because if they were just going to like break even, then that's probably not worth your time or your effort to pay the world record holder.
Replace $6,000 with 20 13 by 13s, thank you.
Sorry, 2013. There you go. Like, it's gonna cause that much of a difference at minimum. Probably a lot more.
Yeah, if you think about it, 20 30 by 13s, that's almost nothing.
Or if we're talking 3x3s, like, if the average 3x3 costs $20, 50% profit margin, that's like 600 3x3s. And probably more than that. We're probably talking like 1,000 cubes being sold for them to make a profit here. So Moyu knows that they're gonna get. Yeah, like, it's easy for us sort of experienced, know what we're doing cubers to sit up here at a pedestal and laugh at those plebes below us who use a cube because, like, Colin or Felix uses it.
It's Moyu.
Yeah. But the reality is, a lot of people do that. Like, the reality is, people will look at, who's the fastest cuber? What cube does he use? I will get their cube.
There wasn't actually that much of a change when Colin changed from a Yushin. Sorry, got the world record with a Yushin. Not many people actually switched to the mains to a Yushin, which is interesting.
Oh my goodness! Imagine if Colin got the world record with the Yushin, when this rule with Moyu was already apparent. Like he had his Moyu cube, but then it broke, so he used his backup, and then he got the world record with his backup.
The fast cubers do have a very big influence over what I guess slower cubers would use as their main, or at least test out. Like, if you think back to Felix and Gans, the Gans 357 came out. Everyone thought,
Yeah,
alright.
Gads were wrecked on the rocks, mate. They
Yeah, I
were
know.
a lonely drunk after they were rejected at prom night.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, they didn't release any cubes for the next year and a half. Then Felix switches his main from the Oolong to the Gans 357.
Explosion.
There goes Gans sales through the roof. Like, and now Gans is back as a company. Like, that kind of... That's a lot of power to, like, revive a company, and then they come back with a new cube, and then, like, 8 other variations in that cube, which are priced way too much. Rant for another time. But the point is... that I say that to illustrate the point that fast cubers have a large influence on what other cubers use and what other cubers buy. And if Moyu is creating this deal which forces a lot of... Like, even though it might not... it's easy to think of, like, the person who gets the world record will use a Moyu cube. Well, even if there's someone who is kind of close to getting a world record but doesn't actually get the world record, and they're using a Moyu cube because if they do, they will get the money, that still changes it so, like, eventually all the fast cubers are using Moyu cubes. And now it's Moyu all the way down. Everyone's using Moyu because the fast people are using Moyu. Like, everyone's using Moyu. And then you start to see, like, this might be over-dramatizing things, but, like, other companies might shut down. Because their sales are down because everyone's using a Moyu cube. That's why that's where I think this kind of thing is bad for the cubing community. Because it forces all the fast people, all the people that everyone looks up to, all the people who have such a big influence on the cubing community to use a Moyu cube. And I do not think that that is good for the cubing community as a whole. It could be good for Moyu, it could be good for those fast cubers, but for the economics of cubes, for the kind of cubes that we see on sale, that is not good for the cubing community as a whole.
And also, like, how the fast cubers have a big influence on the people buying their cubes. Like, if I was a new cuber and I started, like, cubing today, and I went onto the internet and I was looking at speed cubes, like, there is so many speed cubes out today. There's, like, literally hundreds. And
yeah, what did we do last episode where I searched up speed cube and the first thing that came up was a cube for you?
There's so many speed cubes and they're all very similar, and I doubt that people would be bothered to actually look at every single one and find out what is different. So, like, there's so many cubes these days, like, people are going to just look at the world record holder and get that cube.
I think that's a very good point that I hadn't considered. Like, for new cubers coming into this game, which I don't know how many sub 1 minute solvers there are as opposed to all of the fast people. But for all of those people coming in, there are a lot of speed cubes. You could go out and watch reviews of all of them, or you could just say, who's fastest, what's their cube, buy. And, like, they're not wrong. Like, the fastest person
option?
Obviously knows what the hell they're doing when they're choosing a speed cube, so why not choose them? I guess appeal to authority, fallacy, sort of thing. I'll leave a link to that in the show notes if you want to read up more on that. Yes, that is a very good point.
Yeah, and if I was a new cuber, I literally wouldn't have the patience to sit down and watch every single review of all these cubes, because I'd just be so excited to just get my hands on a speed cube and just start doing it.
Why would you look at all the reviews when all speed cubes are smooth, buttery, and crispy?
Have we changed your mind, Reese? Do you think that this is good for the cubing community still? Do you think it's, like, fine? Or do you think it's bad?
I think it's alright. I don't mind.
After that whole rant, come on. Why? Like, the point, do you disagree that eventually everyone's going to be using Moyu cubes? Do you think do you care that that's...
I don't think that's a bad thing, because, like, Moyu's just going to come out with new cubes which are even better, and Moyu's known to make good cubes, so it's not like the world's going to get really slow, so...
But then again, like, some cubing companies have came up with some ideas before Moyu, and they've been really good ideas. For example, the the square corners on speed cubes, and how it, like, prevents corner twisting or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was created by Gans, and then Moyu started implementing it.
Like, obviously, Felix isn't going to switch over to a Moyu Cube because he's got the GAN sponsorship thing going, so he's set with them. But for other cubers who aren't affiliated with any of those companies, Moyu they go. Just for the chance of getting the money. Because who isn't going to turn this down? Who isn't going to be a fast cuber about to get a, sub 8, sub 9 cuber who's hit $6,000? It's a lot of money, especially for someone who, like most cubers are, don't have any house or family or any financial requirements. So, obviously, everyone's gonna do this. If you say, hey, use this cube that might be, 5-6% worse, but then have the opportunity to earn a astronomical sum of money, who isn't gonna turn that down? No one's gonna turn that down. Hence, the problems that I illustrated earlier. Which you still haven't really addressed, Reese,
Yeah, I mean, those problems are a fair point. I know, I find the good outweighs the bad in this situation. I know, that's my perspective.
what's the good?
The good is that one company makes money and one person makes a lot of money, and that's what counts.
Oh, and also with Felix's sponsorship with Gans, that will help balance it with the Moyu.
Yeah, but just for GANs.
Yeah.
That's making it worse for every other company.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yuxin.
Who likes Gans?
I bet Yuxin's gonna, eventually die.
Well, they're all gonna eventually die. Infinite timescale.
I think it will last less longer than Moyu. That or Vietnamese dong. You guys haven't heard of that? The Vietnamese currency, the dong.
No, we haven't.
Okay then.
You know, you tried, and that's what counts, Bryce.